Hey guys, Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit. Just me today. If some of you woke up, read a certain leak, and were destroyed, either because you didn't see what you wanted to see, or the hunt was just over and that was a damn shame, hopefully I can turn that frown upside down. We're going to be talking about 5 reasons why the Smash Ultimate roster leak is maybe fake. And I'm going to try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. I'm going to be mentioning maybe some themes about the characters, but I'm not going to use any franchise names. I'm not going to use any character names. And last but not least, I'm doing this kind of out of respect of Sakurai, who didn't want it leaked, kind of out of respect of Nintendo, and because, you know, some people don't want this leaked. But real quick, like the video if you like it. Let me know down in the comments below if you think this is legit. I think there's a lot of signs pointing to it being legit, but I'm going to fight for the other side. And if you love us, sub us. That sub will enter you for a chance to win some delicious Steam codes. Alright, let's get started with number 1 of 5. Heroes vs. Villains. This was a theme that has been heavily emphasized with Smash Ultimate, definitely repetitive throughout. We saw the Samus vs. Ridley trailer. We saw the Donkey Kong vs. King K. Rool to an extent. We saw Simon vs. Dracula, even though he's not an actual playable character. And then we saw that montage of Heroes vs. Villains right before, I guess, what Donkey Kong was watching on that TV during the King K. Rool reveal. And looking at these characters, that theme does not apply, for sure. There's maybe an argument for one, but otherwise, I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm not seeing it, personally. That's just me. Let me know if you guys disagree, because you could make like a stretch. You could be like, oh, you know, imagine this CGI trailer where X fights Y. You know, yeah, I can see it, but it's not like the classic Clash. It wouldn't be like Skull Kid, for instance. That would work if it was like a young Link versus Skull Kid, but it doesn't seem to be there. All right, and reason number 2, Sakurai said so. Sakurai's been doing a series of interviews with a weekly Famitsu column, and to quote him, "We announced Isabelle in the Nintendo Direct. However, it would be a mistake to think that the new character announcements will keep going at this pace until Smash Bros. Releases." And a lot of people took that as maybe, you know, the releases are going to slow down, but on top of that, maybe the number of characters is also going to slow down. So instead of having like a regular cadence of releases, in addition to not having a regular cadence of releases, there's not even that more characters to show, and that was supported with like the possible leak of the number of stages, possible leak of the box art, all that. And he continued to say, until Smash Bros. Releases, we may have been a little trigger happy, so we'll be living modestly from here on out. Which, yeah, it sounds like, I don't know, it would be weird to me to announce this many characters when it could have been spaced a little better. That's just me personally. And again, I know Sakurai is known for tricks, but just quoting him. Number 3. No one was too crazy here. All of these characters have been heavily, like super heavily speculated about at one point or another. And there's a very real chance that this is just a regurgitation of ideas that people want to hear, and that's kind of why I caught on. And that would be a good way to get your rumor to go. But there wasn't anything crazy, which kind of surprises me. I don't remember a lot of people predicting like Wii Fit Trainer, but maybe my memory's fuzzy there. There's just not that one, that like, oh wow, really? It's just that all of these with the caveat of maybe one, but early on it was I'm not gonna say the name, but if you've looked at the leak, you'll be like, yeah, there's that one. No, it's been discussed several times. If you want, I can. Papagino, in particular, talked about it. I can say that. All right, number 4. It fits many instances of a bad leak, and I I know that Android Snapchat is not the best, and I don't even know if he used or she used Android Snapchat to take this picture, but regardless, the picture is terrible. Assuming you're leaking this material, that's a terrible picture of the roster. It's absolutely like terrible. Not only is it blurry, but it's so far zoomed out that it would make faking these renders and doing maybe a piss poor Photoshop job of shifting everything around a lot harder for us to pin down. And the name that was kind of caught, that led to the LinkedIn, that led to this, that led to that, that name was so poorly scribbled out. I don't know. I would think if my, and I get, sometimes when you act out of rage, they said kind of like F Nintendo, so maybe they were acting out of rage. If you're acting out of rage, maybe you're not going to do such you're going to be a little irrational, you're going to be moving quickly, missing some stuff, but they tried to scribble out their name. And to me, it was so poorly done that they would have had, like, if your job's on the line, you're going to second guess that. And that almost makes me think that was like an intentional, like, breadcrumb, where you're going to half scribble out the name, so people are going to find the names. So they're going to go on LinkedIn. They're going to find LinkedIn profile that links back to this. I think it's all just kind of a series of breadcrumbs, essentially. It could be. And the blurry pic to me is not an excuse. The only thing I could come to terms with on the blurry picture is assuming this individual has really no idea about the magnitude of the game. They don't know anything about video games, anything about Smash Bros. They would consider it to be not important. Like, maybe they just thought that the whole promotional material was important rather than that one thing. But that part of the picture is where everyone is. So you'd think they'd be like, oh, this is what Nintendo doesn't want people to see, but whatever. They could have done better, I guess is what I'm saying. If they really wanted to make a legitimate 100%, this is it, they could have just put their phone a little closer and snapped a little clearer picture. All right, let's keep going and finish things up with number 5. Number 5, I just want to ask people to remember the past. Remember that Palutena hoax? That was nuts. I remember looking at this fairly recently, years after Smash 4, and looking at the pictures and being like, yeah, that's Smash 3DS, but it's not. It's faked. Do you remember the Rayman leak? That thing is ridiculous. And I guess all I'm saying is, yes, this would have taken a lot of time, but people are willing to put a lot of time into this, and with good reason. I mean, you get a lot of attention. And I think this is something, like I said, where they put a lot of time into it, but they knew things couldn't be perfect. And yes, there's a lot of evidence that this is legit, but you could have messed around in Photoshop for a long time with the current renders that we have. You could have gotten your stuff in, taken a blurry picture with a name half crossed out that led to this breadcrumb trail that's getting all this attention. You could have done that, and there have been very convincing leaks in the past, and I don't think we should necessarily overlook that. But those are just my 5 reasons. It's just my opinion. I really want to know what you guys think down below. I want to know if you guys would be happy with this. Bearing in mind, there's going to be DLC, so I wouldn't freak out too much. Some franchises were not represented, and I think those can clearly be represented in the very near future. Don't forget, the Game Awards are also coming up. There's rumors that there's going to be DLC unveiling there. I could see one of the big guys that we are not missing, but that have been heavily speculated that are not on here being announced there. There's so many opportunities for more characters. But that is all for me. I'll catch you guys next time.